Hi guys! I know it's been a while since my last vlog and I am really excited to be back with you today. I've got a really fun and nice project to share. Ta-da! If you're following me on the Instagram, I have already shown you this project like even a couple of times, and I was telling you about the embroidery part that I was planning to do, and here it is. This shawl is or scarf. To be honest, I don't really feel the difference between these two words, so maybe I will be using these two words like interchangeably. This is a very easy project to make. You need to start just with a few stitches, then increase these stitches on one side, then decrease the number of stitches and bind off. That's it. I think that this project is a very nice project for beginners. Tools are very easy thing to make, very enjoyable, very Netflix friendly, and the whole part with embroidery was very fun. So I really recommend you grab your needles, grab your yarn, and let's dive in. Actually not so quick because yeah, materials. I have my notes here, and you will need 2 skeins of yarn and 2 skeins of each hair and bliss yarn by Pickles. I'm using these 2 particular yarns, but really you can use any yarn you love as long as it meets the gauge, so just feel free to use anything you want. You'll also need to use 3.5 millimeter circulars. I was using like 80 centimeters, but we are working here back and forth, so it really doesn't matter as long as it is comfortable for you to knit with such specific lengths of circulars. Go on. What else? Of course, stitch markers. I think 1 stitch marker will be enough. Measuring tape, scissors, darning needle, and of course some extra yarn for embroidery. Actually, I was pretty lucky because I had a lot of fluffy yarn in my stash, so it was very easy for me to pick one for the embroidery. I was using this embroidery hoop, like the wooden one, and it was very easy to work with this hoop. Backstitching was really fun with it, so I really recommend you to use one if you have. And the main thing, the inspiration for the embroidery, I was really thinking for quite a long time about the idea, and all of a sudden it's just struck from Otko Workshop Girls and their logo, because I really love everything that these girls are doing. So I was like, that's such a cool idea to have this kind of eyes here. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I mean these Workshop Girls, I will leave the link to the Instagram account, to the Instagram page, and please go check their Instagram account. You will be really impressed, I promise. Alright, that's it. Let's dive in. Okay, no, one more thing. Actually, I will be showing the whole process using the smaller swatch, and there is a simple reason for that. The yarn is chunky and it will be really easier for you to follow, but also I didn't make any video while I was knitting this shawl, so yeah, there are actually 2 reasons for this. But embroidery and the whole backstitching process will be shown on the real scarf. And now let's dive in. To get started, we will be using the old Norwegian cast on. This method adds a bit of stretch to the edge, which isn't essential for this project, but I just love the look. So feel free to use any cast on method you prefer. Cast on 3 stitches to begin. After that, let's do the setup row. So, slip the first stitch with the yarn in front, then place the marker, purl the next stitch, and and knit the last stitch. Alright, let's get into the increase rows. My trick here is to keep increasing until I finish my first skein of yarn. So for the first row, slip the first stitch with the yarn in front. And here another quick tip, keep the first stitch of each row a little looser to make the edges smoother and easier to block out later. So slip the first stitch with the yarn in front, knit the second one, slip the marker and add a stitch like this with the thumb. And knit to the end of row. The second row is also simple. Slip the first stitch with the yarn in front, purl across until you reach the last 3 stitches. Right now we already have these last 3 stitches, so we need to purl the stitch before the marker through the back loop. Slip the marker, purl and knit the last stitch. So you need to repeat these 2 rows until you have 96 stitches. And this part can take a bit of time, so grab your favorite shawl, settle in and just enjoy the stockinette. I have completed a few more rows, and let's assume this is the middle of my shawl and I'm right before starting the decreases. And before starting the decreases we will need 2 rows without increasing. So again, we are slipping the first stitch, knit the second, slipping the marker and simply knitting to the end of the row. Turning back, slipping the first, purling the stitches to the last one, slipping the marker and knitting the last stitch. And now it's time to start decreasing. For the first row, let's slip the first stitch, again with the yarn in front, knit the second one, slip the marker and knit 2 stitches together. Like this. Then we're simply knitting across to the end. The even row is even simpler, so we are slipping the first stitch, we are again purling to the last stitch, and knitting the last one. Keep repeating these decrease rows until you've done to just 3 stitches, and you will see the triangle shape becoming more and more defined with each row. So when you get to 3 stitches, it's time to bind off. Slip the first stitch, knit the second one and pass this first stitch over the second one. Remove the marker, knit the last stitch and pass the first stitch over the second one. Oh, just look at this tiny cute shawl. Before doing the embroidery, I strongly recommend blocking the shawl. Blocking is in general essential. It smooths out stitches and perfect the shapes, especially when we are dealing with shawls. So gently soak your shawl in lukewarm water, squeeze out the excess water and lay it flat to dry, pinning it into a triangle shape to set it nicely. Once it's fully dry, I wave in all loose ends with the darning needles to keep everything neat. And now for the fun part, adding the eye motifs. I have my shawl that I have completed, and I am suggesting you to start by marking where you'd like your each eye, using for instance the marker. I usually mark the almond shape for the eye itself, and maybe a circle in the center for the iris, or just a straight line for the eyelashes. So I will be backstitching using these imaginary lines. I have my contrasting color, I have my darning needle, and of course I'm using the embroidery hoop just to make it easier. Make a single straight stitch as long or as short as you want. It doesn't really matter because I don't have any lines here, so it's just my imagination. The yarn is a bit too long, okay. Maybe here. This is my first stitch, and then I will continue along my pattern line, but I will come up a space ahead and bring the needle back down into the same hole at the end of the last stitch that I've made. So it's just the same distance between each place where I am starting my stitch. I'm bringing it here at the end of the last stitch, and usually you can make it at the same time, start the second stitch. So the distance here and here is the same. Like this. And again, like this. So as simple as that. You will be back stitching all the way down to the next point. You can add your iris, you can add your lashes, you can add even totally different motif. It's up to you. It's where you can get creative and add your own style. And that's it. Pretty simple, pretty quick, and I think it's pretty sweet. And maybe I will make some more like smaller eyes, and I will add some smaller irises, because here I was trying to add one and I just wasn't really happy with the result, so we'll leave it like this. And I will also use another yarn in another colors, because I have a lot of scrap yarn and a lot of mohair and brushed yarn, and I think it will be very nice mohair or brushed touch for this shawl. So I really recommend you using some kind of fluffy yarn. And that's it. Thank you so much for knitting with me today. I was really happy to be back in business and really enjoy the whole vlog making process. If you also enjoy the whole process, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are not a subscriber, and please share the photo of your shawl, because I'm really curious about all the embroidery ideas, because as I said, you can use anything you want, any idea, any inspiration. Yes, I am really curious. I have put a link to the written instructions for this scarf here in the description box below, so please check my Ravelry page. You will find there this free pattern for this shawl, and also you can find the other patterns, both free and paid, and I really hope you will enjoy my Ravelry page. Anyway, I hope to see you soon. I have a wonderful idea for the next vlog, and I hopefully will make the video next weekend, and I will share this video with you very soon. So see you next time. Bye.